getting this started up. I hope you guys are excited to get started. All right, there we go. Do this. And we'll have this sharing to YouTube as well. Start it up. There we go. Perfect. Okay, awesome. All right, okay, so you guys ready to get started? Perfect. Awesome. Okay, so before we get started, a few little things here, some key points. First of all, if you've lost money trading in the past, it's probably not your fault. You're probably trading off of emotion, probably trading off of things that you've seen online or something else like that. You probably didn't have data to back you up. Data to back you up makes a very, very big difference. We'll be talking about that a lot today, and you'll see exactly what I mean by that. Number two, if you've been concerned in the past that you can't succeed with trading, let me put that to rest. You could definitely do this. You just need the right person to explain to you. It's not rocket science. Investing is not rocket science. Trading is not rocket science. But especially if you have back tests and you have data to back you up and you have algorithms trading for you, it is actually quite simple. All right. Number three, the big hedge funds, they want you to think that you need a PhD to create your own algorithms. They are absolutely wrong. They have their own reasons for thinking that. They probably don't want competition, that sort of thing. But that's absolutely not true. I've seen people create algorithms that definitely do not have PhDs, and we've built algorithms that are making quite a bit of cash without that as well. I definitely don't have a PhD in this, and we've been making a lot of money doing it. So there you go. Number four, if you ever thought that the banks want you to fail, you're probably right. Banks are not in it to make you money. That's not what their business model is about. Their income statements are not about making you money. The income statements are about making them money. They make money by holding on to your cash, not by making you returns. So if you ever thought that the banks want you to fail, you're probably right. They are not aligned with your interests. Definitely. Number five, I know you have a dream to make lots of money and to make an impact in this world. Let me show you how to do that. I'll walk you through some of that stuff in the webinar today. All right. Before we get started, though, do you guys want to save some money? Who wants to save some money here? Okay. Well, if you guys stick around to the end, I'm going to give you guys a coupon code, and you'll be able to save even more money on our plans. I'm going to give you guys basically a few different things here, and you'll be able to save some money on our plans going forward. All right. Okay, so here's our agenda for today. First of all, I want to share these slides with you guys. Here is the link. I'm going to put this into the chat. There we go. So if you guys want to follow along, you can follow along with the slides there. Second of all, going to get to know who's on the call, so you guys will have a chance to speak. I feel like a two-way session is always the best. You guys are stars of the show, so really it's about understanding who you guys are, and I could tailor this more towards you. Third of all, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself and my background, why you should care at all about what I have to say, which is a fair question, and we'll address that. Number four, we're going to go over, we're basically going to go through the 3 secrets that we're going to be talking about today. That's kind of the main show. I'll show you some of our secrets, and I'll show you kind of the results we've been getting and things like that. Then we're going to talk about some case studies of people that have gone through our courses in the past, that have gone through all of our stuff. Then we're going to talk about our all access plan and how you can get access to our all access plan if you guys actually want to use the things that we have, which, to be honest with you, I think it'd be crazy if you didn't want to, but that's up to you. All right. And then I have at the end here questions, but that's please feel free to ask questions throughout. We'll have some time at the end if you want to really sit down and go through a couple things, ask me about whatever. But if you have any questions throughout the presentation, please make sure that you ask as well. Okay. All right, so let's get to know who you guys are. So if you guys could type this into the chat, or you could also turn on your microphones and say it out loud if you prefer that. But if you could answer these 3 questions, what is your occupation? Number 1, what do you do for a living? Are you a software engineer? Are you, people are a lot of times are entrepreneurs. Do you work in finance? What is your background? Number 2, do you know how to code? Have you ever programmed anything in your life before? Are you a Python developer? Have you never done this before? Do you have no idea what coding is? Let me know. And then last of all, let me know how much investment experience you have. Have you been investing for a while like myself, or are you a little newer to this stuff? All right. So while you guys type that out, I am going to tell you a little bit about myself. All right. So here is my background. So first of all, I've been programming computers for about 25 years now. I'm not that old. I started when I was maybe 10, 12 years old. I started coding computers. I was one of those kids. Always loved it. Been basically doing this stuff my whole life. I don't even remember a time where I don't code, where I didn't code. Managed a bunch of software teams, that sort of thing, and running a software company now. I also have a master's of finance degree. Yeah, so not only have I been trading, I've been trading for I think almost 15, 20 years now. I've been trading. It's been quite a while. We've made a lot of money over the years. But I also have a master's of finance degree, if you care about the education side. I also have worked on Wall Street for a number of years. I have about 10 years of experience working on Wall Street and at financial technology companies. Some examples of that is I worked at a company called Greystone, where I built out an application. I put together the team and kind of managed the whole team. We built this thing out. We did about $50 billion worth of mortgages in that application that we built out, probably actually even more now. It's been quite a while. I think we've probably done over $100 billion of mortgages, I would think, with the app that we've made. I also helped create a app called Voyager. I was employee number 4 at this company. So very early stage. When I joined, we had nothing. We hired a bunch of people. I trained them. We built out all the infrastructure, everything, and we created an app that at one point in time was trading for $3 billion on the stock market. Made me quite a bit of money on my stock options. I was very happy about that. The company later on didn't really make it through the whole crypto collapse with FTX. But luckily, I sold a bunch of my stock options before that, so it worked out really well. It's really cool. It's fun being able to say that I made a billion-dollar company. Um, Now, what I do is I manage a lot of money and investments. I manage a couple $1 million between myself and friends and family. Um, but I wasn't always like this. Years ago, in 2008, I blew up my entire investment portfolio. It happens, right? So that's how you basically learn how to do your chops, or hopefully you can avoid that, but it definitely taught me a lot of lessons, and I'll tell you the story later on. I really, back then, I didn't know how to manage my risk well. I really approached investing in a completely different standpoint. And I was really relying on others for investment advice instead of checking for things myself and trying to understand things myself. All right. And I'll tell you my story about this in a little bit. All right. Okay, cool. So I'll give you guys a little bit more time to fill in those questions. What is your occupation? These 3 questions I typed out. I'll put those in the chat one more time here for you guys to fill in. But are you guys ready to hear the 3 secrets? Who here is ready to hear them? Oh, there you go. Before we get started with that, so Hans wrote out here. Hans is a freelancer, translation, content writing. Very cool. Know a bit of Python. I can do some coding. Very interesting. That's great, Hans. I have a little experience in trading. I want to use algo trading because I cannot spend the whole day in front of a screen. So I hope there's a way to have it automated. Absolutely. That is definitely what we do here. Not only do we automate trading, but we also do a lot of research on how to do things that are profitable. And I think that is the key here. A lot of people spend hours a day in front of a computer just to lose a bunch of money. That is not what we're about. All right. So yeah, absolutely. Algo trading is definitely what we do. We could definitely automate that for you. And I think we could do a heck of a lot better than that. Even go much, much further than that as well. All right, cool. Thank you, Hans. Very nice. So the rest of you guys, I'll wait for you guys to type that out as well. But okay, so do you guys want to hear the 3 secrets? Get you guys introduced into our world. Okay. So secret number 1. Secret number 1 is backtesting. Now, if you guys don't know what backtesting is, essentially it's going backwards in time and saying, what would have happened if I had followed a particular strategy over the past few years? So a very simple example of that might be a buy the dip strategy. That's a very simple example. Should you have bought the dip over the past couple years? Well, I can tell you we've back tested it, and I can tell you that's not a good idea, right? It's actually better to invest in the trends rather than buying the dips. You don't believe me? I can show you the back testing results, right? But let me tell you about specifically my story about this and why this is such a valuable thing to do, right? So this is my story, right? So it started back in 2008. Basically, is when I blew up my first investment account. I had no idea what the heck I was doing there. I thought I was a genius when I was younger. I studied finance. I had been investing for a good 3 years at that point in time. Made a bunch of money. I think I got up to a $30,000 account. I think I tripled my account up until that point. Did quite well until 2008 happened when it blew up on me. Right? I did not know what the heck I was doing back then. Obviously, that I felt terrible. It took me a while to save that up and to build up to that. But it gave me the fuel I needed to improve on my trading and investing abilities. So what I did was I applied to my Master's of Finance program. It's at a school called Schulich. It's basically like an Ivy League in Canada. And I went there very determined to learn. It wasn't for me just about learning the course material, like a lot of people go through grad school to just, pass the courses. I actually really, really cared about what I was learning in these classes. So, but when I went through these courses, what I learned just really blew my mind. It was crazy. The people that were in this had managed, hundreds of millions of dollars or billions of dollars. They really, really knew what they were doing, and I felt like I was learning the secrets to, like, the keys to the world kind of thing, right? They taught me a very different way of investing, very calculated, very financially oriented with a lot of numbers, and really taught me like a lot about risk management and how to actually invest to make money for real, right? So when I was in this program, not only did I really spend a lot of time on the classes, I loved every second of it. It was a lot of work, but it was fantastic learning. But I also spent hours every single night outside of schoolwork creating these giant Excel sheets, right? So basically, I had these giant Excel spreadsheets that said, okay, this is what the price of the S&P 500 was on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and you kind of go through each one for years, basically. And what I was able to do is I was able to say, well, if I put in $1,000 here, how much would I have come out at the end, right? And then I was able to tweak things. Okay, what if I had put it into the S&P 500? What if I had used a little bit of margin? What if I had bought the dip, right? What if I had done all these different scenarios, right? I was able to test it all out and see what would have happened if I had tried different techniques, right? And after going through that, it became blindingly obvious to me why I lost all that money. I realized that I was using too much leverage, too much margin specifically, and that is what ended up blowing up my account. I've never done that since then, and I've actually learned a heck of a lot since then because of all these back tests that I've done. And I could tell you that I basically used everything that I learned throughout that school and through back testing to invest over the past few years, and it has made a huge difference in my life. So let me tell you about how when that happened, it was actually kind of a sad point in my life. My father passed away. It was around 2009, 2010 that he passed away. And basically, the family's money was put onto me to manage, right? My parents' life savings, basically, it was something like $200,000 at the time, right? I was put in charge of this because, I'm the one with the Master's of Finance. I'm the one who understands the stuff a little bit better, right? So I was put in charge of that portfolio. Fast forward a couple of years, what has it been? It's been about 10 years, 13 years, something like that. That $200,000 is getting very close to 2 million now. I was looking at it today. We actually invested in some very good stuff. Coinbase stock options are flying through the roof. It is so basically something like 10x to that portfolio over the past 10 or 12 years. Huge improvements, huge gains there. Not only that, but I also helped my parents invest in, or my mother, I should say, invest in, a bunch of different real estate properties. We made a ton of money off that. It's actually gone to the point right now that my mother has like way too much money. It's kind of ridiculous. She travels all around the world just for fun. She hasn't worked for a number of years. The other day she was telling me about how she wanted to go to Cancun, and but her friend didn't have the money to go, so she was just going to buy the tickets for her. Why not, right? A couple $1,000s, who cares? Um, she's able to give my sister, she gave her like 50 grand the other day just for fun. Basically financial matters are no longer a concern, right? And I can tell you all that stuff came back, and not only that, that's for my mother, that's my family's money. My own money, is flying through the roof. I could show you my portfolio. Here is one of my investment accounts. We have a couple like this, but here's one of them, just so that you can see what I'm talking about. today, this one account crossed $180,000 right there, shooting up like crazy. You can see that line doing quite nicely, right? We've been doing quite well. And again, I could attribute all this stuff back to basically this point in time in my life when I went through the school and learned how to back test my strategies. That changed my life dramatically. We are now literally multimillionaires because of this. Okay? So if you are not back testing your strategies, if you're basically going off on a whim, right? Just listening to what other people say, and this guy on YouTube says to do that, actually backtesting yourself, you are at a very significant disadvantage. I'd strongly recommend they start backtesting your strategies. It can literally change your life in very dramatic ways. Yeah. Here's a little book you can also take a look at. This is a great book if you want to learn a little bit more about this whole topic. I'm going to put this into the chat here. This is a book called The Man Who Solved the Market. It's about a guy named Jim Simmons, who is, I would say, probably the best hedge fund manager in all of history. This guy has made 65% a year for 30 years. If you don't think that's a lot, well, you should check out his name on the Forbes list because he's like number 40 on the Forbes list. He is one of the richest people on earth because he was able to accomplish 65% a year for 30 years straight. It is crazy. Do that once in a calculator. If you know how to do compound interest in a calculator, you end up getting a ridiculous amount of money. That's why this guy is so damn rich, right? This book is all about how he is able to do that. Basically, he did it because he was a mathematician. He was very much into computers back in the day. I think it was back in the 80s or 90s when he started doing this, when computers were still very early stage. And he said, well, what if we could take all of our investing and do it through a computer instead? Instead of doing this manually, what if a computer can do that for us? Ends up, he was really, really right. And now runs, like I said, one of the biggest investment funds on earth. And he is one of the richest people on earth right now. Check out his book. It's a fantastic read. It's full of a lot of good tidbits about, investing and that sort of thing. But it's also a good story. A lot of the people that started this hedge fund with him back in the day, they ended up being crazy rich. There's some stories about like they were buying houses and forget about them. Like the government was like, this one guy, he built a house in this area that you're not supposed to build it in, like this whatever eco territory. He built a house there. It was like a $10 million house, and he forgot about it. And the government wrote him a letter and said, you have to get rid of your house. You have to bulldoze it. And he's like, holy crap, I have a house there? Like, what are you talking about? That's the level of wealth these guys have, that they're able to forget about multi-million-dollar houses. Right? Very interesting book to read. If you haven't read it yet, definitely check it out. Okay, cool. So that's secret number one. Back testing, like I said, can definitely change your life. Secret number two, especially if you're building out trading algorithms, make sure that you use existing code and collaborate with other people. For example, we have built a crazy amount of algorithms. We've been doing this for 4.5, almost 5 years. We have built some very sophisticated things and have a proven track record with a lot of our strategies. A lot of people, when they get into algo trading or they get into trading, they think that they need to do this on their own. You do not need to get started on your own. There's a lot of people that have done this stuff before you, and you could simply use what we have or what they have built. Yeah? So let me tell you a little story here. So there's a person that's part of our program. His name is Worth. He joined, we say 5 months ago. It's been a little longer now. And he came to us with a few strategies that he trades manually, right? So one of his strategies that he trades manually is trading this thing, this ticker, UVXY, right? This is the ticker symbol. And basically, this ticker symbol, if you take a look at it, it goes straight down, right? This is like crazy, whatever you call this. It's insane how far down it goes. But basically, that's all it does, right? It's VIX, triple leveraged VIX, and just goes straight down, right? So you might think, why the heck do you want to trade this thing? Well, because you can short it and you can make a lot of money on the fact that it's going down. Yeah. So that's one of his strategies. And he brought that up during class one time. And he's like, oh, can we build a strategy to do this? So, what we did during this class, we do this every Tuesday. We call it live algo hour on Tuesdays, or we're renaming it to live algo building sessions to be a little bit more clear. But basically, he came in and he showed us the stuff and he said, can we build this? So I said, okay. We built it during the class. It took us like 2, 3 hours to build it. He wasn't the one building it. When you come into his class, it's me writing the code, right? I built out this code. I was a little skeptical at first, but then took a look at the back testing results and they were wild. It was something like 70% a year returns. It was crazy. I'm like, wow, this seems like a good idea, right? So what we did was he kind of built this out, and basically he's been able to use this algorithm now. He's been running this thing for a while, where the algorithm just tells him what to buy, and he just goes off and buys it, right? It's a little bit more than just shorting it. It's like Bollinger Bands and all that. This algorithm's been actually been trading for him, right? Or helping him trade, right? Last I heard, he's made a bunch of money doing this, right? Again, 70% a year. That makes sense, right? And not only that was he able to use this, but now this algorithm is available to everybody else. If you wanted this, you could get this. You could actually download this algorithm and run it tonight if you wanted to. Fantastic. Yeah? So basically what ends up happening is we have this group that comes that meets every Tuesday that is really kind of like a family, right? We're like a family of people sharing investment ideas and building these into algorithms and creating what honestly is really, really amazing. The algorithms that we've been running, I've been shocked to see the results that we're getting. And quite honest with you, we're working on building out a hedge fund because everyone that I show this to, even like Wall Street veterans, are like shocked at the type of returns that we're getting. But that's because we work as a team, right? We work as a team, we collaborate, we meet every Tuesday, and we build out these algorithms that everyone can use, right? Cool. So let me show you a couple of these algorithms that we built out. These are a few that we built out over the past few months. So here is the algorithm that I was talking to you about with Worth that's trading this UVXY. When we back tested it, so here is basically what would have happened over the past few years. This was from January 1st, 2021, all the way up until about the end of 2023. So we're talking about 4 years. Over a 4-year time period, it was up 708%. That is a wild number. That means that you're getting 8 times your money. That means if you put in 100K, you'd be almost a millionaire by now. Yeah. Very nice returns off of it. You can see here 72% a year, like what I was talking about. There is a little bit of risk involved. You can see that it does move a little bit more, but you can see just how much it beats the S&P 500 by. Here's in blue the strategy and how it performed, if what happened to the account balance over this time period. And in yellow, you can see the S&P 500, and you see basically no chance, right? The S&P 500 is known to be one of the best investments that people can put their money into, and this thing is making it look like a complete joke, right? Just soaring above everything, right? This is one algorithm that we made, right? We spent one day doing this. Yeah. Here's another one. Here's one that we call stock leverage with calls, right? Or we call this rolling call options. Basically, what we do is we try to mimic one of like the banks have this product that allows you to basically participate in the gains for the stock market, but also not get burned by the downsides. So what we did was we made this algorithm that basically buys a call option at once a month and just rolls that every single month. Very simple, right? But the results are quite astounding. So here is when we did it with 6% of our money, just using 6% of your portfolio. Yeah. We put money into this thing. It ended up over this time period from basically COVID times, right? January 2020 up until the end of 23, it did about 134% in total, or about 18% a year. And with a risk very similar to the stock market, right? So beat the stock market to a nice degree, and had about the same risk profile, right? That's fantastic. Yeah. You can see even here, when this thing was investing, it would have protected you from the whole COVID crash even, right? It's very nice. You can actually see it on the graph here. Again, the blue is the strategy, the yellow is S&P 500. Okay, so we said this is pretty cool, right? Like you can make more money by taking on the same risk. That's nice, right? But we started to tweak it, right? And what we did is instead of 6%, we did 8%. Shot up like crazy. Instead of now making 17% a year, this thing was making 37% a year. Huge improvement, right? If you do the math of it, 38% a year. If you guys can actually do the math, 38% a year If you do that compounded for the rest of your life, you'll be one of the richest people that you know. Doesn't matter how much money you start off with, right? This does come with some risks. This is one of our more early stage algorithms. Again, you can get this when you join our program. You can actually take this and run this, no problem, right? This one does come with a little bit of risks, but does have these astounding historical results. Right? And actually, we've been running it for some time now, and we actually have trading signals for a lot of these algorithms here. So this is the rolling calls. This one, since February, up 5%. We've been running this thing. So far doing quite a nice job. All right. Okay. Pretty much doing what it's supposed to do. Right? Okay, here's another one. Here's a bot that we made that trades, that we call Congress trading. What this does is it basically looks at members of Congress like Nancy Pelosi and all those types of people, right? And basically looks at what they're buying, right? You could do that if you go to some websites like this, like Capital Trades, Congress Trading. So you can go into here. You can actually see what all the members of Congress are buying, right? So if you go into here, go to this website. It's taking a little while to load. It's very slow. Okay. Here are the latest trades, and you can actually follow. You can see this member of the Democratic House in Texas bought Procter and Gamble. What does he know that we don't know? Right. I really like looking for the ones where it's like small companies. They buy, this Equinor, this guy's selling Equinor. You could actually go through here and you could see a lot of these things. This guy bought some company called Conan, whatever the heck, Phillips NV. How large is that company? That sounds like a fairly small company, right? Unless that's Phillips or something like that. But you could actually go through here and you could actually see what all these people are buying. This guy bought Costco. This actually came up the other day on our radar. If you follow our trading signals, this thing right here, you can actually see that it actually put up Microsoft here to trade. The other day, it put up Costco to trade. You can actually follow our signals. You can see what all this stuff came up here. And basically, it's telling you what all these members of Congress are buying. And you can essentially do some really nice things with this. So when we back tested it using a strategy, what we did is basically different ways you could skin this cat. But essentially, what we did was look back 45 days and say, over the past 45 days, what companies did members of Congress buy? And if there's been a company that's been bought more than 4 times, then we end up buying that too. We took that exact strategy and we back tested it over the past few years. We ended up getting some very nice results. So here's what we ended up getting. Basically from mid 2021, as far back as our data goes, up until about the end of 2023, you can see here it pretty much doubled its money. Very nice return, about 20% a year, with very low drawdown, so very low risk as well, and made a really nice return. You can see here that even when the stock market was going down, this thing was going up. It didn't really matter if the stock market was going down. These members of Congress definitely have an edge in trading. If you think about it, not only does a senator have inside information, right? Because these companies will lobby them and tell them about products that they're planning to do and things like that. So they have insider information, but they also can influence what happens to companies, right? They can pass laws to make the companies that they own do better, right? So if they're holding on to Costco, you better believe that they're going to be voting on things that help Costco. They own it in their stock portfolio. Why wouldn't they do that, right? So ends up that that's definitely a very good idea. And here's an algorithm that actually does that, right? If you joined our program, you could actually grab this algorithm, you could run it yourself, or you can even just get it from our trading signals. Yeah. Here's another one. Here's our straddle strategy. This is an options straddle strategy. Basically what it does, it sells a put option and a call option, and basically it does that every single month, rolls it over. This one did quite well as well. Basically from January 2020 up until the end of 23, did 245% in total, or about 24% a year. So some very nice returns there as well. Here's another one that we're working on. This is called our Iron Condor Martingale. This one has pretty stellar returns. Actually, I was speaking to someone the other day that was using this exact strategy and got about, I think it was 220% returns per year using this modified a little bit, right? But using basically this strategy made 220% a year. Think about how much money you would make doing that. If you actually did the math behind it, making 200% a year, right? You put in 10 grand. By the end of the year, you have 30. 200% again. By the end of the year, you have 90. 200% a year. By the end of the year, you have almost $300,000 to your name in 3 years. That's insane. That's basically what this strategy is able to accomplish, right? Here is with some specific parameters that we put on it. This one makes about 62% a year. Again, there's some modifications that we can make to make this thing shoot up to about a 200% a year return, which is wild. I've also been running it here as well, just so you could see it's not just back testing, it's also actually running live. Let me show you this thing running. Here is, where does this thing go? This is the strategy. It's been running for a couple days now. You could see today it actually had a down day, but the day before that, it made 40% over the course of this thing, 40% since February 20th. So what is that? 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a 40% return. I'd say that's pretty damn good. All right. Um, Dell, yeah, Dell. Zoom is not connected to audio. Yeah, I could see here that his microphone is not turned on.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Do you hear me? Can you hear me, Robert?
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool, cool. Because I have a couple of questions for you.
Sure,
Maybe.
yeah, sure. What questions you got?
I'll let you finish and then maybe I can ask if this works for you.
Sure. If you want me, yeah, I can answer questions now. I can answer them at the end. It's up to you.
Okay,
Whatever you.
let's do that at the end so you finish what you're doing. Okay. Yeah,
Sure. Okay.
thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like he's been sitting here and he hasn't been getting this volume. So yeah, so here's our Condor Martingale strategy. There's another one we're working on too. We're working on some really amazing strategies lately. This is actually blowing my mind, and I can't wait to put my money into this one in particular as well. Here's another strategy that we're working on that uses butterflies. So basically, option. Do you know options trading, by the way, Hans? Have you ever done that? Ever traded options?
Actually, I do not trade options. It's mainly stocks and mainly long, not shorting. I try to buy the dip and sell when it's high. I have been actually playing with Lomibot and I was testing the momentum thing. And but I have a couple of questions. So if I run this in the terminal because I'm using Alpaca,
Mhm.
and if for some reason my Windows machine started
Yeah.
the next day when I run it, would it be able to see that already 1 day or 2 days have already been passed? And because what I've seen is what I can show you here. Let me share videos or share screen.
Sure. Yeah.
This will stop other screen sharing. So, okay. Okay. So do you see my screen here?
Yep.
Okay. So, as you can see here, I have been running this momentum thing, and I
Mhm.
see it keeps saying Microsoft has a return value of 0 over the last 1 day. I changed it from 2 days to make it 1 day.
Mhm.
And AMD, blah, blah, those the thing. And then it bought actually 20 shares of Meta today and it kept it. But what puzzles me is why, because I see NVIDIA was going really like every day it's going higher and higher.
Yeah.
So it's I'm not sure
So what
the
what code is
the
this? What are you running?
the momentum strategy from the example strategy you have.
from our examples.
Let
Momentum.
me,
Yeah.
I can show you here momentum strategy. It is like that. So I have those
Okay. Yeah, we
here.
don't really maintain our example strategies that much. If you join
Yeah,
our
I think
plan,
there was some errors. Yeah.
yeah,
And
we don't
I
really
had,
maintain these things.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah,
But it's
we
mhm.
have a strategy library in GitHub that's available to our subscribers, and that's the thing that
Oh,
actually
okay.
we maintain.
Okay. That was
But if
my
you
other
don't want to
question.
code,
So yeah. So if I subscribe for the starter plan, because would I have access to that those strategies in the GitHub?
you get a couple of them. Yeah, if you it's actually even on our homepage, it shows you that our starter plan gives you like five different algorithms. Our pro plan, like all the ones I'm talking about right
Uh,
now, these are in the pro plan. Right.
okay.
So if you want like our fancy stuff that has like these really high rates of return, that's our pro plan. If you want kind of like our
Okay.
basic algorithms, which by the way are still quite good. I've been
Uh-huh.
running, for example, our diversified leverage strategy for the past year. It's I think almost doubled my money in the past year, so it's done quite
Uh-huh.
well. But these
Yeah.
other strategies are
I
like off
see.
the charts, like the ones I'm talking
Uh,
about.
yeah, I see. I know I want to test with alpaca, paper trading first because I wanted to make sure because
Yeah.
from my experience with trading view, sometimes strategies can like what is called painting,
Hmm.
repaint or whatever, and
Hmm.
what you see in the back testing is not really reflected in reality. So
Yeah.
that's why I really want to test this. But if I so the question for me for you is if this one I closed it today because I have already shut it down, whatever. So would it be next day when I run it, would be able to
Yeah.
see
We'll
that
know
already
that the
I have
market's
that?
open. Yeah.
Okay. And it
It'll
should
know
see
when the
that
market's open. It'll automatically spring into action. Yeah.
okay. So that's my question. I can also show you the what I got here from this testing this strategy. It says 70%,
Nice.
and this is from actually January 4th to
Okay.
the 31st of July. And so what do you think about those? Like, does it really look
Yeah, that
oh,
definitely, those are definitely good numbers. What I would do though is I would go back further, right? Because you're only back testing like 6 months. I would go back
uh,
further than that.
oh, okay. The
Yeah.
problem there, yeah, the other problem is actually with Yahoo. Yahoo Finance,
Hmm.
I don't think it does. It supports the 1 minute or the 5 minutes. At least you need to use 1 hour or something or 1 day. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But this
Yeah.
is
It's just
this is a
one day.
problem when it comes to back testing with Yahoo Finance. So what would be a better alternative to be able to test like for like 5 minutes time frame or
Yeah. If you want
1 hour?
anything, yeah, if you want anything less than one day, you need to use Polygon. Or Polygon is one of
Oh,
your options, but I think the best option.
okay. And this
Use
is like you
Polygon
have
for
to pay
base
for it.
case.
You have to pay for it,
It's
right?
free for up to 2 years of historical data. Beyond
Ah,
two
okay.
years, you have to pay money, and they also do some rate limiting. So you can only do
Oh, I
like five
see.
calls per minute with their free plan. But they do have a free plan, and you can backtest stuff with it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Okay, so this what I actually wanted to ask you about it because I was so if I want to create, say, something like use the Williams alligator, for example,
Mhm.
uh, do I need to use other libraries like Talib or Pandas TA to be able to do that? Would it be easy
Yeah,
to hook it up to Lumibot or
yeah, it's actually very easy to do that. Basically, you want to get historical prices, and then you want to pass it through whatever library is doing that.
uh-huh.
I don't know if Pandas TA has the alligator. I don't
Yeah.
recall seeing that there. We use Pandas TA for a lot of our strategies. I think it's
Okay.
very easy to use and has a lot of indicators in there, but I don't
Okay.
think alligators do have them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think Talib has alligator actually. It's only Pandas TA, I
Yeah.
believe. So that yeah, the other thing is actually the trading view webhook thing. Um, like if you say I have a strategy that I created in PineScript and I have it in trading view, would I be able to hook it up to Lumibot or is it gonna be
Yeah. Yeah. You can definitely do that. What you would have to do is you would basically have to run a Flask server alongside your bot. You could do that
uh-huh.
using multi-processing, right? So you run the Flask server in one of the processes, and run the bot itself in another process.
Okay.
And you have to have them communicate with each other. And then that Flask server is basically getting it's a webhook, right? So you're
Yeah.
getting webhooks from thing
Okay.
from
Do you
from
have this in the pro plan? Like you have a strategy that is using TradingView webhook? Like do you have something available?
um we started working on that once. I don't think we ever finished it, but if you join us on Tuesdays and bring it up, we could actually build it during class. It's not that difficult to build. I could probably throw that together in like 30 minutes, to be honest with you.
Oh, really? Okay, that would be
Yeah.
cool, really.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I need to basically be a member and for that thing, do you think the starter plan would be as a starting point would be okay?
Well, it depends what you want, right? So the starter plan is going to give you a couple example strategies. It's going to give you access to our courses, so you can go through that. It's going to give you access to our trading signals. But if you want our
Hmm.
more fancy algorithms, like the ones that I'm kind of showing off right now, those are part
Hmm.
of a pro plan or all access. And if you want to join us on Tuesdays live, where we actually build algorithms live, like so, if you want to
And this
build
is
this, you
free, or do you need to be a subscriber?
have to be a subscriber. That's part of the pro plan.
Oh, okay. Can
Yeah.
yeah. So and for this you can basically do this webhook thing
Mm.
if I go for with the starter plan, right?
If you join the pro plan, you can join our live classes, and we can build it during the live class. If you
Okay. So the starter plan doesn't have that, the live classes,
correct,
right?
correct, yeah.
I see. I
Start
see.
plan is you get our pre-recorded classes, right? Which actually, by the way, we're updating very soon. We're putting on a new algo train class soon. It's going to be a lot better.
Uh-huh.
The existing one's good, but the new one's going to be like way better. I'm re-recording it and all the new
Oh,
stuff that we've learned. And then you also get access to our like basic version of our strategy library, which I could show you if you want, kind of what
uh-huh.
that looks like. And you get access to our trading signals, which I was kind of showing you. So
Oh,
here, let me
cool.
share my screen. I can kind of
S-
walk you through
Okay, yeah,
this.
let me stop sharing. And so the Discord is it for subscribers only or is it available for everybody?
So we have two different Discords, right? This one, you join our starter plan, you can join our Lumiwall server and you can kind of talk with everyone, right? If you want to like
Uh-huh.
communicate. And then we have another one, which is also part of our starter plan, which you can get the trading signals, right? So you can see basically
Okay.
what each algorithm's doing and you can track them over time. And if you want to know if they've traded anything, you can kind of get notifications and that sort of thing. So these are
Mhm.
two different servers that you get as part of the starter plan,
Okay.
right?
Okay. Yep.
And then you also get access to this. This is our strategy library.
Okay.
This is what's available for everyone in Pro Plan. We have a lot of them
Mhm.
in here. Basically, you can go into here, for example, it's our butterfly condor. You can go into here. At the bottom, we have all the back testing results in each one of them. So you can kind of
Okay.
see, what you
Mhm.
would expect with this. We have a description of what it does, right? The
Yeah.
strategy description. And then what's really cool about this is that you could run it with basically one button click. All right, so you click here, run on Replit. It'll
Oh,
run it inside of a Replit server, and it'll run it in the cloud. Okay? And basically, all you have to do
nice.
is fill in your secrets, which is your API keys, and that's it. And you have a working bot. It's like
Uh-huh.
super simple to get this up and running.
So what do you, if you want to run a live trading bot, what service do you use? Like what do you recommend? Uh,
We use Replit. I really like using Replit because A, it's
oh,
pretty
so,
cheap. It's like $6 per bot to run it.
uh-huh.
And also, it makes it very easy to maintain. So if you want to like change the code, you could do the code right here. You hit run, right, to kind of test it out. And then you could hit deploy to make it like permanently stay up there in the cloud, right? And
Oh, I
it's
didn't know about that. That's
yeah.
cool actually.
Yeah, if
Okay.
you go through our starter plan, we have workshops to show you how to do this. And then if you go through our pro plan, again, we do all the live classes and we like talk about this every single week.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Rob. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. So yeah, so like I said, it depends on what you want, right? The starter plan will kind of get you started, right? You have a couple of
Mm-hmm.
algorithms, you learn how to do this stuff. And then if you want to get like our advanced algorithms, you want to be part of the live classes, that sort of thing, that's the pro plan. Right?
Yeah. What I noticed from when you showed me that thing as like a lot of options, strategies. As I told
Hmm.
you, I'm interested mainly in stocks. So
Hmm.
how many out of the 50 plus algorithm that you have, how many for stocks?
Oh boy, that's a loaded question. I don't I don't know.
Yeah, because
Um, there's a
because
lot. I
I'm
mean,
not
we
in
really
crypto
just
or options. It's mainly stocks for me right now.
yeah,
I have never touched do the other uh, trades.
yeah. I'd say the majority of our algorithms are stocks, just because that's all we were able to do until recently. It wasn't until about 3 or 4 months ago that we had the ability to even trade options, because we just recently added Tradier as a broker, and now we're able to trade them in the cloud.
Uh,
But I'll be honest with you, our like the craziest stuff that we have is options trading. Like it blows my mind, these things.
yeah,
Like honestly,
I do. I
I'm
know.
watching this trade, and just the amount of money they make is just mind,
Uh-huh.
but that's that's a choice you got to make, whatever. But for me, I've become very interested in options trading, seeing the results that they are able to produce.
Yeah, I know that
I
people
could,
can
I
make
could
lots of money with options.
yeah,
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 but
totally. Me personally, I could tell you, I've been trading one thing in particular. I bought Coinbase call options not too long ago.
uh-huh,
Here's one of them. Is one of my positions. This is worth now $58,000, as you can see here.
uh-huh.
This
Wow.
started with, I think, 10K like a month
Oh,
ago. You know what I
wow.
mean?
Wow.
So
That's
50
amazing.
grand in that
Yeah.
position. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's options,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I know. It's just that I'm not familiar with it, so I don't want to touch it
Yeah.
until I'm more familiar with everything. So I've just
Yeah.
started. So okay.
You know
Thank
what?
you.
I didn't really know that. Like I knew the basics of options trading. I didn't really
Uh-huh.
learn options trading that well until I started back testing it. That's what like taught me how to actually trade options.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Thank you.
like you don't want to just jump in and just start trading this new asset out of nowhere and be like, oh, I hope I works out. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's why I want to test actually was Alpaca, the paper trading,
yeah,
paper account, just to
yeah,
make sure at least for a month or something, so I
yeah.
know what kind of profits or losses I would make before I
It's a
jump
very
in.
smart thing to do.
But if it works fine, then definitely I can jump in and join the. So I'll see.
Yeah.
I'll keep trying, and yeah, I'll
Yeah, let me know how it goes. Our starter plan, it's $1 to get started, so you can get introduced to all
mhm.
the stuff for $1, right?
Yeah,
So if
yeah.
you're into this, join our Discord channel. If you have any questions about the stuff, I'm very active in there. So if you have any questions about like why isn't this work, like for example, your momentum, you're saying that there's
Uh-huh.
an issue with it, go
Yeah.
into our Discord, ask the question. I'm usually going to answer the question. Sometimes people beat me to it, but I'm very quick
Oh,
usually.
yeah.
Um, Ask the question. I'll go in there. Even if you do it tonight, I'll go in there and I'll take a look at it myself and see what's going on there, because it seems like there's some sort of bug going on. Um, my guess is it's probably not getting data from Alpaca correctly for some reason. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay, I'll do that. Thank you so much for the offer. Yeah.
yeah, no problem. Cool.
Thank you.
All right. Want me to continue? Keep going with this?
Yes.
Cool. Awesome. Okay. So I showed you a couple algorithms here. Like I said, the options algorithms, those are really the ones that are like killer lately. We have some stock trading ones, like here's our diversified leverage. This one's been doing quite well. Seems like there's some sort of a bug with it. Oh no. Okay. So check this one. This is a stock trading one. This comes with our starter plan. Since November 10th, up 28%. It's quite nice. Crypto double EMA trending. This one is up quite a bit as well. Since November 30th, up 44%. You know, and this is like trade, like it's with fake money, mind you. I have my own real money in some of these as well, but I run these in paper trading just so that people can watch what's happening with them.
Hmm.
So this is not a back test. This is like actually trading. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You can see that they're like actually performing quite well. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Awesome. All right. So secret number two. Right.
Yeah.
Actually, I've been thinking about, and you let me know because today is kind of quiet in here. Usually we have a lot more people, so I'd love to actually hear your feedback. In the future, what I'm thinking about doing is changing this presentation to be more really just geared towards our results. Like here's our different algorithms that we've done, here's the ones that we've built, and then here's
Hmm.
the results that they've gotten. Would you be interested in that kind of presentation that just really
I
focuses?
think, yeah. Okay, straight to the point, showing real examples, profits and whatever back testing. I think that would be much better. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Because we've been writing this thing for a while. I've been doing the same sort of presentation for some time now.
Hmm.
And what I find is just this is what people care about. You want to see the back test, you want to see the results. Let's just get to the point,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, because
Yeah, yeah.
what we're doing, like it's actually
I think
like
at
if
the
you
beginning you were talking too much like personal information, which is good, but
yeah.
maybe if you make it a little bit shorter, so maybe it'll
Mhm.
be better for us. So people may leave and say, okay, this is kind of like, okay, he's talking about his personal life or whatever. People are different. People are. For me personally, I like those things because it's inspirational.
Mhm.
But some others, like busy people will say, "Okay, no, um, I'm done." But if you go to the point right away and say some examples, at least in the introduction, and then maybe you can talk about your personal experience.
I like that. I'm gonna make a little note of this. So I've been thinking about updating this just because we've been doing the same presentation for months now, and I'm like, we can do better now. Like we have back a couple months ago, I didn't have as much like stuff to show people.
Hmm.
Over the past few months, we've really, really upped our game a lot. So yeah, I actually really like that feedback. Thank you for that. Uh, start three secrets. So I'm just writing this out here with results at the beginning. Yeah, because people have told me this before too. It's like, it's a little long, right? Like, how do we shorten this and how do we just like,
Hmm.
give you what you want? Like let's
Yeah.
not beat around the bush, right?
No, it's good and relevant to see that you have a PhD, whatever in finance and this kind of stuff. That's I
Mm,
think it's important and it shows your credibility as, creator. So that's fine, I think. But it was like this talk about, that millions of dollars, multi-million dollars, people sometimes think that, okay, let's just go straight to the point.
mm,
So this is my opinion. I don't know, people are different, as I said.
okay. Oh, your
Uh,
opinion is
uh,
very relevant. Thank you.
no, you're
Awesome.
welcome.
Appreciate that. Cool.
Uh,
Yeah, like I said, this is quite a small group. I'm used to a lot more people. We what happened is we actually recently turned off for advertisements for our company because
Uh,
we are now getting a bunch of people come to us like just naturally. Like people for some reason just find our products and buy us now. Like,
uh,
it's just out of nowhere.
yeah,
Like, so why am I spending money on ads? But
yeah,
basically, when you stop spending money on ads, less people show up to these presentations, which, I don't think is a bad thing, right? Like I don't need to
uh,
force people to do something that, doesn't add value, right? I'd rather like focus on like, how do we actually like for real add value to people's lives, right? That's what I'm
mhm.
all about.
Yeah, that's no, I think from the testing I've done, I like what I'm seeing. I think it's really cool, but I need to figure it out and see like do at least for like a couple of weeks for a month and see the results in the alpaca paper trading.
Yeah.
I have already money in alpaca, but I don't want to use it right now. Just want to do like the back testing or real paper trading and see. So yeah, if there is any strategy that I can test that it can be shared, I mean in the example folder in GitHub, so I can test it without, bugs or whatever, that actually will be very convincing for me actually to go ahead and subscribe for the pro plan. Um,
Why don't I give you one? We have a workshop on how to use this thing. Honestly, I think it'd be easiest if you just like pay the dollar because you get access to all this stuff. But here
okay.
is in Replit, we have this. Uh, how do I find this? Let me see where I can find this. My repos. Here's one that you can kind of play around with. Again, if you set like if you go like it's literally $1. You can go through a workshop and you can see kind of what I'm talking about. You'll learn how to launch this thing and all that kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
But here is uh, there you go. Diversified leverage with threshold. This is a bot that I actually personally really like. I have my own money in this as well. And like I said, it's
Uh-huh.
done quite well. It's a small account.
Okay.
Here's a link. When you click on this link, you should have a button that shows up that says fork this or use this template or something like that.
Oh,
Let
okay.
me
Oh, you said the
uh,
link. Okay. I
yeah, I
see.
put the link in the chat.
Mhm.
So
So
let me see.
to run this, what should exactly I do? I can see disclaimer.
Yeah, so
Uh,
right here, there's this button
you
use
use template. Okay.
yeah, use template, and then you can basically run it and repl it. I
Oh,
think it should be free, right? Until you want to
okay.
deploy something, right?
Okay.
And then you can
Okay.
run it, you can see what happens, you can see the back tests, you can download the
Okay.
code if you want, right? This
That
this
would
is
be
one that
cool.
I've had my own money in for over a year now. Let me show you the results. This is one of our first algorithms. We have a lot better stuff than this now,
Yeah.
but this is an algorithm that we made a couple years ago, and I actually have a track record behind it. So just to show you what this looks like, log in. Okay, it's my email. Here it is. Yeah, this thing's performed very well actually. It's a small account. This is I did this a while ago just to like kind of watch what happens with this thing.
Uh-huh.
It's not a big chunk of my own personal money, but check this out. This thing started 2,900 about a year ago. We're over 4,200
Uh,
now. It's done very
yeah.
well. Not big
That's
drawdown,
cool.
performed very
Yeah, and the
well.
market now
Stock
is,
market,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah, the market's gone up. We've gone up more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically what it
It's
is.
been crazy. It has been crazy actually with the market. Like keeps going
Yeah,
up and down. And it's like,
yeah,
okay, that's very nice of you. So I will give it a try and use it and see how it goes. And
yeah. Check it out. Cool.
yeah.
Yeah, like I said, this is one of the first algorithms that we ever built. This was like 4 years ago when I barely knew what algo trading was.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Yeah, I
okay.
mean, like when we first kind of just started with this stuff, like our stuff has gotten like way more advanced than this. But this thing has still done very well. Like I said, it's up a lot.
Yeah.
This is real money. This is not paper trading. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it's live. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And the paper trading, like I said, here's the paper trading. Again, when you sign up to the start plan, you actually get these trading signals. You could follow it. And
Mm,
been doing some weird stuff here, but up 28% since November 10th.
that's cool.
That's pretty damn
Yeah.
good. Yeah,
That's very cool actually.
yeah,
Yep. Okay. Thank you so much.
yeah, no problem. Cool.
So you were talking about the secret number three, and I think you said like using AI tools. So
Yeah.
do you, okay. Because I haven't seen this in the documentation. I don't think you have
Yeah,
anything in the
so
documentation about AI, right?
yeah, sure. So let me quickly go through it. So this is so basically I have a story about one of our people that was part of our plan a while ago, Latoya. She's still in our Discord, talk to her quite
Hmm.
often. She didn't know how to code at all. And basically she joined our plans and she built like the most sophisticated bot I've ever seen. It was crazy, right? It's like
Uh-huh.
she built this bot that basically was able to follow, like, how people have these Discord channels that give off trading signals.
Yeah.
She built a bot that could basically track that and trade off of that, which I thought was
Oh.
really cool. I was like, how the hell did you build this thing? And basically, she just used ChatGPT and GitHub Copilot. And it's like,
I use ChatGPT a lot actually. Yeah, it helps.
do you use GPT-4?
I have access. I subscribe to ChatGPT 4. It's much better than 3.5 for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's what I was going to say. Yeah. It's so much better than 3.5,
Yeah.
especially for anything complicated.
Yeah.
So I guess a couple tips here. If you're going to use ChatGPT, one thing, start with existing code. right? A
Mm.
lot of people, they've come to me and said, "Oh, I told ChatGPT to build a bot and it didn't work." It's not
Yeah.
that advanced, right? So what you could do is you could take one of the bots that you have, right? Take,
Uh-huh.
diversified leverage or take the momentum one or whatever, right? Take
Uh-huh.
that, put it into ChatGPT and tell it to modify it. That will give you
Okay.
much better results
Sure.
because it will actually know how all this stuff functions and it will actually be able to modify a heck of a lot better than build from scratch, right?
Yeah.
Building from
Hmm.
scratch, it doesn't know how to structure it properly. It doesn't know how to do all that. But if you give it examples, it does a lot better, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
So that's number one. Number two, you probably know about this already. If you don't understand the code, tell it to write code comments for you. This could be quite useful, right?
Yeah.
You give it a bot and say, add comments to this, and they could actually follow the code a lot easier.
Hmm.
Another one is GitHub Copilot. I saw that you had VS Code. This thing is killer. If you don't have this installed, I very strongly suggest you install it.
I have it. I have it. So
Oh,
is
you
it
do?
better
Okay.
than ChatGPT when it
It's
comes
different,
to
right? They both
uh,
use the same core engine. It's ChatGPT behind it as well.
uh-huh.
What's different is that GitHub Copilot is while you're writing the code, right? So it's like it makes you write code faster. Whereas ChatGPT is like if you want it to like answer questions or like do bigger chunks of code or something like that. So it's just different use cases, right? But the
Okay.
core engine is pretty much the same, right?
Okay.
Yeah. This is another one, another really good tip. If you get errors, copy and paste. I don't know if you've ever done this before, but this is a lifesaver. If you ever get an error from Python, copy that error and put it into ChatGPT. It could
I
actually
do
do a
that.
really big,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, perfect. And then we have a bunch of recordings on like, you can watch me using this thing. I can show you basically how
Oh,
it all, yeah,
okay.
yeah. I use
Yeah.
this thing. Like I honestly don't feel like I code anymore. I just like talk to
Yeah,
AI and
you
it,
got many people are doing that actually. Yeah.
yeah,
It's crazy. And every day there's like, I don't know what's gonna happen with ChatGPT 5 or, also
who knows,
yesterday there
man?
was Claude. Claude was announced. It looks like sounds crazy as well. People
Yeah.
keep talking about it. So yeah.
Yeah, Claude apparently beat ChatGPT across the board on every measure.
Yeah, exactly. I uh,
Yeah.
I think this is good for people like us who are not really, programmer. So if you can
Mhm.
understand a little bit of Python and you can play with it and ask for, guidance from that ChatGPT or whatever, it helps a lot actually. So it's very good.
The way that I look at it is, I've been coding for 25 years now, right?
Hmm.
When I first started coding, I was like 10, 12 years old. Making a button was difficult.
Yeah.
Like you would literally spend days making a button, like days,
Yeah.
right? It was crazy, right? And
Yeah.
then they came out with Microsoft Foundation languages, right? And then
Yeah.
.NET came out. And then,
Uh-huh.
JavaScript got better. And then every single iteration of this, it was like you're able to do 10 times more work, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
It went from being able to make a button in 2 days to 2 hours, right?
Uh-huh.
To 2 minutes to now
Yeah.
AI, like I don't even have to like look at my computer and it can make a button. You know what
Yeah.
I
Oh my God.
mean?
Yeah. You don't go to a Stack Overflow anymore. You just keep
Exactly.
using
Exactly.
ChatGPT and stuff.
So to me, it just feels like another layer of abstraction. That's all it is, right? It's like
It
another,
helps a lot, yeah.
yeah,
It helps. You
yeah.
don't need to what we usually programmer used to, Google to search for
Mhm.
code anyway, but now it's much easier because you can get the code right away from ChatGPT. So I don't see much
Absolutely.
difference. Yeah, the problem is
Absolutely.
that actually if you keep doing it, sometimes you become, really addicted to it. And, sometimes it cancel the way you think, or you don't want even to think about the code and just you just go right away to ChatGPT looking for
Yeah.
answers. So you have this side effect, but in general, it's very helpful. I agree.
I don't know if that's a problem because it allows you to think higher level, right? Like I
Yeah.
don't I don't need to think about all these little details. Like who cares? Like just make it work. Like
Yeah.
I can now think about like the bigger picture, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much, Rob. Actually, I really appreciate it. And yeah, I will use that template and keep playing a little bit with it. And
Yeah.
I'll definitely subscribe. So this is the only tool that I've used, and I see that actually it's working with Alpaca. It actually, at least, it initiated the trades.
Hmm.
But I still see I like it. It buys, but it doesn't sell. So I want to see the bot actually selling as well. And I try to customize the momentum strategy, to sell when whatever, based on the indicator. But
Hmm.
so far it doesn't work. But I'll keep trying, and I'll subscribe to that, at least the starter thing, before I jump to the pro. But first I
Okay.
need to get it, to work, buy and sell at least, and I see that in the paper trading, and and then we jump in.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if you have any troubles with it, like I said, message me on Discord. I'm very active on there. More than happy to help you with whatever you're doing there. And if one of the example strategies isn't working, I actually would really like to get it to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We don't
yeah,
really
yeah.
check up on those things. It's we put them in
I
there.
think it will help you actually a lot. I mean, because if people, the first thing they do, they go to actually the strategy
Yeah,
examples and they test it. If it works, then they believe in the product. If it doesn't work, then they have those doubts. So,
that
I
makes
mean, for
sense. Yeah.
me, you would rather remove them if they do not work, or just make them work. So if you can update the code actually for those, that would be really helpful for many people who actually testing the your product,
Yeah.
because this is basically what I say. This is like the first thing they will do. They will test one of those example strategies, and they want to see them work in it. And once it works, I'm sure many people will sign up because they can
Yeah.
see it now. It's an alpaca or whatever. It's working. And actually, by the way, do you plan to support, like, other brokers like TradeStation? I think you support
Yeah.
interactive brokers, right?
Yeah. We keep adding new brokers. Not every broker has API access, so we're limited
Yeah.
to the ones that do. TradeStation is one that we have thought about quite a bit. The only problem with TradeStation is that to get an API key from them is really difficult.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Honestly, last time I had to get an API key from them, it took like a month to get it, which is ridiculous. Um,
Wow.
so yeah, but yeah, we're slowly adding brokers. Like for example, we just added in Tradier. This
Oh,
is a
okay.
fantastic,
I
right?
think Trader supports
They
a couple
trade.
of they support a couple of brokers, right? No?
No,
Or
Tradier
three.
is a broker, but they have a couple
It's
of
only a
different
broker.
products
Ah,
that.
okay.
Yeah, you could trade futures, crypto. Oh, they actually added futures now. Cool. Yeah, they just acquired someone to trade futures. You could trade crypto, you could trade stocks, you could trade options. They're actually a very good broker. For 10, they have basically commission-free trades, and for $10
Aye.
a month, you get commission-free options trades, which is crazy. Like I've
Wow,
never
man,
seen.
that's cool.
Yeah,
So, and what about Webull? Do they have API?
they. You know what? You're another person that brought this up actually. Maybe we should integrate with them. They weren't really on my
Oh,
radar
they have
before,
actually.
but you're the
Yeah.
second one that's told me about this. Yeah,
Oh, many people actually are
API.
using this broker actually.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we can probably link up to this. Yeah, yeah. It takes a bit of time to link up to a broker. Like Tradier took us like a good 2 months.
Uh-huh.
I think for every broker that we add, it gets faster because we build the tooling for it and all that.
The foundation, yeah.
But yeah, exactly. But yeah, we're slowly adding in more and more brokers. Personally, I'm really looking forward to adding in Schwab. We're just waiting for their API to actually work.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the what is called, I think Trade Station, or so, I think Trade Disk, or I don't remember the exact name, and Webull are very popular. So I think you have more customers.
Yeah,
So
TradeStation
anyway,
definitely is very popular. You're not the first person who's brought this up to me. They have like futures trading and a bunch of other stuff. They're actually very good. It's just really
yeah,
difficult to get their API for whatever reason. But yeah, we've definitely thought about this. Like I've given it
yeah,
a lot of thoughts because like look, these future options, even what the hell is even that? You know?
yeah,
I don't know that. Never traded future options before, but it sounds cool. Um, so yeah, we are integrating with these. We're slowly adding in more and more brokers. To be honest with you, um, I think what matters more than brokers is having algorithms that work well and make money. You know what?
sure,
Like,
yeah, sure, yeah.
if you have an algorithm that makes you 200% a year, I think you change brokers. You know what I mean? Like
I
for
would do that. I would do
yeah,
that. I don't have Webull
right.
actually, but my son has it. And I have Alpaca, I have Fidelity, but Fidelity, they're stupid. They will never have an API. I have
No, they
interactive
don't.
brokers, but not a
Yeah.
small account with interactive broker. But
Yeah.
my most my account is like with Fidelity, which is crazy. So
Mhm.
I'm ready to make the switch once I have something working, you know. So,
Yeah.
but Webull actually on TradingView is like have like the highest like 4.6 stars, just like TradeStation 4.4, and
Oh, interesting. Okay.
yeah, so Webull actually is very popular, I think.
Huh.
But and they have
Where
Tradia
are
as
you
well.
finding this?
Uh, when you have TradingView, they go to the trading panel. So I used actually the app on my desktop. And so if you go to the trading, not sure how can you access it from here, but you can go to brokers, maybe brokers, the link
Oh, yeah,
under
that would make
brokers.
sense. Yeah. Brokers.
So yeah, if you go then,
Charts.com. Oh,
so
interesting.
so they
I've never
have
seen
lots of
this before.
interactive brokers, you see. You should have more.
Yeah. Yeah. TradingView
Uh,
has a bunch of stuff. The thing is with
oh, this is the best rated
TradingView
only.
is, yeah. TradingView is such a simple thing though. Like if you have coded in PineScript before, like that you have huge limitations. Like you can't do anything machine learning. You can't have any outside APIs or data sources.
Yeah, yeah,
Like this thing is like severely limited, right? So
yeah. But when it comes to charting, it's amazing. You know, the price
yeah,
action
charting is
and
yeah.
they have lots of
Totally.
indicators. So really I have some, well, actually what I was trying actually to do, that was I was asking you about trading view webhook, because I have like some stuff that actually I think it works really well, but I did some, strategy testing
Mhm.
within trading view, and I see like crazy numbers, like 4,000 or whatever. So it
Hmm.
maybe it's, I'm not sure if it's true or not, but I want to test it in a real paper trading account and see if it works or not. So the good thing about the webhook of TradingView is actually people can use those strategies and connect Lomibot to that without writing all the things about the Python code and strategy. So it's an additional step that actually can make Lomibot actually the best, because I'm sure you know that it's number one charting tool. Millions of people
Yeah,
actually use in
by far.
TradingView. If
Yeah.
you can support TradingView out of the box, that will be super useful for you guys. I think it will be a game changer. I do believe.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree
Because
with you. I agree with you. You're
yeah,
not the
because
first
there is
person.
a company called Capitalized. I'm not sure if you heard
Yeah.
about it, Capitalized.ai. Have you heard about
No.
it? Capitalized.ai. So they have this you know, it's for free, I think, but you have like you can type text to create strategy when the EMA, 50 is crossing above the 200 EMA, then whatever RSI is above 50, buy this, whatever. So, and it's very convenient, but the problem was that is actually the servers, their servers is not really reliable. So
Mhm.
sometimes you miss actually trades or you lose money because of that.
Well, that's not
So
good.
it would be better if you use your own whatever, like Replit or, any cloud hosting and have your Python code running somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, that
There's
makes
no
sense.
problem. Yeah. So, but the webhook thing, I think it will be very cool, supporting of Webull, and it's good that 3DR, but they don't have any like documentation about it, right? Or do you have?
For
Or
what? For Tradier?
3DR,
Yeah, we do.
like,
We do.
oh, so
It's
it's
it's a little
updated.
light, to
Okay.
be honest with you. I want to expand on it a little bit more. Um, but yeah, we do have. So if you go into brokers, Tradier,
Oh, okay, I see.
there you go. Here's basically how you set it up. You put in your access token account number,
Hmm.
whether paper true or false, right? And then you can
Yeah.
basically set up like this,
So
right?
it's yeah, very straightforward. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. I'll have a look at it actually and see. But first I need to test with Alpaca and see how it goes.
Yeah, let me know how it goes. You could join it, like I said, join our Discord server. If you have any
Yeah.
questions, more than happy to help out with us.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I will do.
Yeah,
I
no
will
problem.
do. I just need to spend some time, First I learned by doing that, like, you know, I'm a little bit stubborn, so I have all these problems and errors, and I go to ChatGPT, I look on Google, I go to the GitHub page and see if there's any clues. But yeah, we'll see how it goes, and I'll test that template and see how if it can make like buy and sell trades,
Mhm.
then I'll definitely jump in and at least go for the starter plan.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
Um, I don't know. Maybe there's something wrong with the code. If you actually share your screen with me, maybe I could even figure it out right now. You know,
Okay, let me just open it. Okay.
this is the advantage when it's a very quiet class. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Let me share screen.
I actually prefer doing this over like having these like presentations. And
So here's what I have. Uh,
okay, so
you,
what
you
I
see
think
my
is
screen?
happening. Yeah, I see your
Mhm.
screen. So the problem is that you're having the percent return is 0. So let's go down to where it prints that out.
Where is that?
Uh,
The
what is actually print out? The return for something is if you search for log message.
log.
Yeah, log underscore
Yeah.
message. There it is. Best symbol swapping. Yeah, this is such old code. Look at this. It's not even
Oh,
using F
really?
string. Yeah, look, it's not even
No.
F strings. You see how old that is? Like that's very old code. But okay, so get ASCII momentums, best symbol, but that's not even what the problem is. If you keep searching,
Oh, for the
yeah, yeah, this code
yeah.
really needs to be updated. Yeah, keep going. There's somewhere else that's printing this. Keep going. Probably under get. Yeah, there it
Yeah,
is.
here is the one.
Has a
Let's see
return
it.
of. Okay, so this is the problem. So it's bar set get momentum. Oh my God, I don't. This is really old. I
Oh,
don't
really?
even know if this is. Okay. Yeah, because get momentum is just like, what the heck is that even doing? That's a really old function. This is like literally 4 years old. I haven't used this. Um,
But I think it's in the documentation.
yeah, I'm sure it's still in there, and maybe it still works. I haven't used it personally. It probably still works. It's
So what
it's
would you
not in
use
our
in such case? Like
user.
if with bar set, what would you use?
What I would use instead is I would use like a TA library instead. I think
Okay.
Momentum's all it's really is looking at returns. So you could even just use pandas, right? But here, okay, so it's getting data. So get historical prices for assets. That should work. The period, time step, day, that's good. Can you put a breakpoint on line 167 and line 171?
167.
Yeah, yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Breakpoint there. And then
And
line
what
171 and
171
172. Yeah.
and 172. Okay.
Yeah, and then run this in debug mode. Let's see what happens.
Okay, I'll make this false, right?
Is
So
live?
is live false or
No, is
because
live
now
should
the
be
market is
true.
closed. Should be
Yeah,
true?
but yeah, turn that to true. Yeah.
Okay.
And then
So you want to
let's
see?
see. Yeah, it should be able to still run even though the market's closed, depending on how it's set up here. If you run it
Okay.
in debug mode, though, not regular.
Okay.
See,
So this will be should I
traps.
terminate it?
Yeah.
Okay. Field terminal. This one here?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a debug Python file. Yeah.
Run and debug. Okay.
That's fine. Or maybe you have to run it. Yeah. And then Python debugger.
What is that? Okay. I don't know.
No connection can be made. Target machine actively approves it. Yeah. So
What
hit
is
run
that?
and debug, the button in the top left, and Python debugger
Yeah,
up in
I
the top
clicked on it. This
top
one?
middle.
On the
No, top middle. You see it says select debugger.
okay.
Yeah, there you go. In Python file. There you go.
Okay.
Let's see what happens here. You might have maybe your debugger's messed up. Well, actually, it looks
Oh,
like
it's
it's good.
still it's
There we
running
go.
now.
Perfect. Yeah, and I think this thing might run. If it doesn't, then we'll have to make a little change. Because you can even though it's a stock trading strategy, you can make it think that it's 24 hours.
Hmm.
If you go under, take a look under initialize, the initialize method. Closer to the top. Yeah, exactly. So
So
you can go self dot set market.
uh should I add this?
Yeah, anywhere in there. Yeah.
Self
Self
dot
dot set market. Yeah,
okay.
exactly. And then
Open
in
time.
brackets and in quotes, 24/7. It's a string that you pass in. Yeah, and that needs to be a string. So that's be quotes around that.
That's it?
Yeah, it's quotes around that though.
Okay.
Quotation marks. Yeah.
Do I need quotation about around it?
You should put it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. That's gonna make it think that it should run 24/7. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should
So
we run it again?
save it. Yeah. And then you could just no, not there, not there.
Okay.
In the middle of your screen at the top, you see you have that little panel. There's a pause button. There's a circle that no, right in the middle, top of your screen.
Okay.
There's like a
And then
square that's like stop, and then
okay.
there's like a circle.
Oh, I see. It was covered by the Zoom bar.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So I
Don't
should
stop it. You could just
stop.
restart it. No, the one right
Uh,
next. Yeah, restart.
Restart.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And this will like make it think that it's a 24-hour algorithm, like it's a crypto
Hmm.
algorithm or something. So I'll run the trading iteration despite the fact that it's after hours.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, so let's see what data it got back.
Here,
Um,
the call
yeah,
stack
actually,
or
do you mind if I control your screen? It might be easier if I just control your screen.
okay.
There we go. So here's the data in the top left. This is what we got back, right? You see open, high, low, close. So here's NVIDIA, for example. We hover over this. It did not get that much. It only got 2 days of data. So what is the period? Period is 1.
The
Why is the
period
period
I'm it,
1?
the original in the code is two, but I made it one because when I did the big back testing, it was like, get a better actually return.
It had a better return when it was 1.
Yeah.
That's interesting. But so I think the reason why it's not working is because it's 1. So check this
Oh,
out. It can't tell that it changed. Well, actually, it can. Um, Closing price went from okay. Actually, that will still work. It will still work with 1. That will still be
okay.
fine. So there's something else that's miscalculating here.
And that line that you have marked about this one, I also changed. Yeah, the get historical prices for asset. The original value was two, actually, not one, and I replaced it with one. So I'm not sure if it's correct or not.
Okay.
But again, when I changed that, it went up. The return went up actually.
Okay. Yeah, so you're tweaking it a bit. But the problem is, I think this get momentum method. I think that's the main
Mm.
issue because we're getting this, but then the momentum, my guess, is that it comes back as 0. Exactly.
Oh, how
So
how
what
do you
does
see
get
that?
momentum?
Where did you see that? Oh,
I just scroll over it. So here, that's 0.
oh, so okay. When you do debug, oh, that's cool. Actually, need to get
Yeah,
familiar with.
debugging is amazing. If you're
Yeah.
if you're gonna do any kind of algo development, you really need to be very good with the debug.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's like impossible to figure out what's going on, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know what get momentum does. Let me check. I have the
If
library
you
up.
check the documentation, yeah.
Yeah, I could do better than that. I could just look at the code because I develop this thing every day. So, def get momentum. What the heck does this do? This is I didn't even write this code. So filters start and end. and then it's just doing a percentage change. Um, I mean, I would just do that directly. I wouldn't use this get momentum method. So I'd go something more like this. I'd go bar set. And bar set is what? Bar set is this a data frame? Bar set data
I think
type.
the RSet is not from Alpaca API.
It is sort of. I mean, it's obviously coming from Alpaca, and this
Hmm.
is what they have in their API. But
Yeah.
I'm more thinking about the data structure that we have. So I'd go like this. I'd go df equals bars set dot df, right? And then your momentum is, instead of being this, it's just going to be a percentage change. You said you have GitHub Copilot set up? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Get the percentage change. Yeah, you definitely have it in the last self dot period days. From the beginning of the data frame to the end. Yeah, there you go. Symbol momentum. I think that should fix it for you. You run this instead of using a stupid get momentum thing.
Yeah, okay.
Like I said, I don't even know what that thing does anymore. Should probably remove that from our docs and actually update our examples. I didn't realize we had examples that were this out of date.
Yeah,
This is
that's
this is so
important.
old. Yeah, this
Because this
is
is the
such
first thing
old.
any user would use basically, because they know
Yeah.
more about the
You know what? If this works, would you mind send this over to me, and I'll just update it in our
Sure,
doc.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I can send it to you definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. Symbol momentum. Now you have a percentage. Okay, there you go. Now it's going. I don't know how this affects the back tests, but as a return, there you go. Now it's
Oh,
actually working.
that's not bad. That's a good return for me.
Oh, now it's buying NVIDIA, right? AMD. I guess it just buys the top momentum stock, right?
Ah,
That's all
now
it
it
does.
says actually, now it makes sense though. Now it says NVIDIA has a
Yep.
return value. And so the selling is working as well, or like,
Yeah, it should. Basically what
or it has
it's
the same problem?
yeah, well, I mean, if you had this thing that it always had the same values, then there's no way you would ever switch because it looks at what is the top asset. And if you're not the top asset, it would buy, it just wouldn't change anything, right?
Mhm.
But let's take a look at the code really quickly. It's going to be hard to tell, I think, without running it a few days.
I would send you the code anyway. I can send it
Yeah,
to you definitely. So.
yeah, for sure. Let's see here. Momentum symbol. Where's the selling mechanism? This is trace stats. We don't really use this anymore. There's another way, reason
Oh,
why we don't.
really?
Yeah, we don't really
Oh,
use it.
it's in the code actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not necessary. It's not going to give you much of an advantage. We use now add line and add marker instead, and it produces another graph and it makes it a lot easier to view what's happening.
But Rob, so
Trace stat.
the GitHub repo, when you install pip install, this version is what is available to even subscribers and any user, right? Or is it, or do you
Yeah,
have
yeah, it's open
a
source.
more updated version for subscribers?
No, no. The
No.
LumiBot library is open source. It's the same thing for
Okay.
everyone. The
Okay.
main difference is the algorithms that we provide and our courses and our live stuff and our trading signals.
Hmm.
But when it comes to the open source library, it's the same for everybody.
Okay. So when I start running this tomorrow, I need to also to comment out the set 24/7 thing, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just looking at sell sell the current asset that we own. Yeah, this should work. This looks good to me. I think if you run this and it actually changes from one stock to another, then it should be good. NVIDIA just did
Okay.
really well in the past day.
Yeah.
Also, this seems to be running very frequently. I don't think this thing needs to be running so often because it's only looking
Yeah,
at.
what that's what I noticed. I tried actually to make it run when the market opens and closes and stop. But if you go to
Yeah,
the my terminal here, if I show you my terminal,
yeah,
it keeps
undo.
oh yeah, yeah, it closed the terminal for some reason. Okay. Yeah, it closed the terminal. It keeps saying okay, checking like, every single minute, it keeps checking, even after the market closes.
Sorry, it's not one. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, you're on a Windows computer, so I'm used to the
Yeah.
Mac.
Ah, I see.
Um, so that's 24/7. It says sleep time that judges this. Yeah. So here has sleep time of 0. I think that's the default. If you
That's the
go
default, but if
one
you, I think it
one
was throwing an error actually. Ah, okay.
yeah,
So, yeah.
sleep time 1D. That means it's only going to run once every day. So if you turn this off, if you go like this, save this and rerun it, what it's going to do is it's going to wait for the market to open and only trade at market open.
Ah, okay.
All right, and only trade once a day. All right, or if
Okay.
you want to trade more often, you can go 1 minute, 1 second, 1 day, right? And
Okay.
obviously you can go
Okay.
like 4 days, 5 days, 10 days, whatever. Right?
Okay.
Strategy will check in again, right? And it'll say, it should for one day, it should actually say, oh, because it's 24/7. Rerun this. It should say sleeping until the market opens. Like we'll run again at, the
Uh,
actually, no, it actually did say that. We'll check in again at 7. So I'm
yeah, it
assuming,
said this is the first time I see this.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're on Central Time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell because that's when the market opens in your time zone. So it will check
Yeah.
in again
It's
at 7:30.
mountain time, actually. Mountain time. Yeah. US
Sure.
mountain
Yeah.
time. So,
Sure. But it's 2 hours off of Eastern.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So there you
Thank you
go.
so
That should
much
work.
for that. So you want me to send this file to you, right?
Yeah, please. I'll update our docs because it's way out of date. This is a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, I hope you can also update the strategies, example strategies, because this is actually will be, I think it's very important
Yeah. If you
to
find
know.
any other ones that there's something wrong with it, let me know. Shoot me a message in Discord. Like I said, I'm very frequent in there. If you
Okay.
have any issues, just let me know. You know?
Okay. I appreciate that really.
Cool.
And thank you so much for spending the time with me to fix
Yeah, no
this.
problem. No
I
problem.
appreciate it.
You're the only one really that showed up today, so it's no problem.
Oh.
The quiet day for me. I don't mind it.
Yeah.
It's very chill for me.
I'm lucky, I
Normally I have to
think.
be in sales pitch.
I think I'm lucky.
Refer to it as.
I was lucky today.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
So, yep. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day. And definitely will hear from me
Awesome.
again.
Yeah, no problem. All right.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Have a good night.
You too. You too.
Bye.